Hi there, my name is David. I work on this task management app project together with Max, who will introduce themselves shortly. So we came together to work on this task management app for a small size clinic. From my experience working in both a large NHS organization and a small size private clinic, staff members often lose track of what they need to complete, by when, and by a certain date, for example, leading to poor service and having a negative impact on patient outcomes. This is due to an intensely high workload with insufficient workforce, but how can we find a solution to combat this issue to ensure all patients and all tasks within clinics are completed accordingly? This is why we built the app, to help members of staff keep track of what tasks they need to complete by when, and you can also use the filter functions at the sidebar. For example, you can filter by user, filter by status, or sort by priority, which Max will talk more about in the next slide. So I'm just going to show you the basic structure of the app. For example, when you first come to the app, you have the landing page, which prompts you to log into your account or create a new one to get started. So we use the Firebase create account user by email and password. So after you create an account, you key in your username, you key in your email, you key in your password. You'll probably to put your first name and last name. So I'm just gonna put David Ding, for example, and then I'm just gonna put doctor. Yep, so that logs you in, and then you can see all the tasks assigned to you, assigned by you, and the tasks that are due soon. And in the nav bar, we've got the dashboard, which is basically right here, what we have now. We can also create a task. So I would say title 1, for example. And then due date, it prompts the React date picker due date. So we choose our priority level as high, and we can assign to David Ding, for example. And then you can create. Then there you should be able to see task assigned by you. Done. And then that's why we also have to toggle theme button, so we can choose dark theme or light theme, primarily because when we're working at coding at night, when we use the light theme, we sort of hurt our eyes, which is why we built this function here.
My name's Max, and I'm going to take you through the rest of the app that David and I have developed. Go on the dashboard, which is where the user will be after creating their account or signing in, and it's designed to provide a clear overview of all of the tasks associated with the user. It's split down into 3 different summaries: your tasks, which are the ones assigned to you, tasks assigned by you to other users, and tasks that are due soon in the next 3 days. Each of these is further broken down into a total of tasks filtered by their priority level. And when you click on one of the task links, the task page is rendered, showing each task individually. There is a sidebar, which can be used to filter through the tasks according to status, whether it's completed or in progress, and also sort them by priority, so high to low, and also as soon as due. Each of the tasks has the ability to be opened up, where you'll see the task details and any comments that have been left, and be able to write comments yourself. You're also able to change the progress of the task and reassign it to a different user. Of those functions, if you log in as an admin user, you are able to view on your dashboard the tasks assigned to any user, and you are also able to manage the users. So you can look at anyone who's in or who has an account and change their role or delete them.
So we chose the following front-end technologies, starting with React, because React uses a component-based structure, which makes it much easier to manage complex user interfaces. It also uses declarative syntax, so it makes it easier during the development process to understand and reason the code, meaning potentially fewer bugs and during the development process, especially when working in a team. It also uses a component-based structure, which encourages code reusability, so we are able to reuse components with similar functionalities for future projects. It also has a large range of third-party libraries that speeds up the development process, such as the toggle theme button or the React date picker, and makes the UI look more friendly. We chose to use Axios because it automatically parses JSON responses for the API, which saves a lot of time during the dev process. And we use CSS3 because it allows concise styling, including the use of animations and transitions, as well as providing the media query feature, which allowed us to easily make the app responsive.
Okay, so let me take you through some of the technologies that we use to help build the back end of our app, our API, using a Postgres image in a Docker container. This was done so that we could minimize the resources that we needed during development. We also used pgadmin4 and Postman to help us with troubleshooting, as they both have really user-friendly UIs, and made it very easy for us to test and see whether the API calls were working. Express gave us an intuitive and fast framework in JavaScript, which we used together with Sequelize to help make our backend easily legible and easily modifiable.
Well, with just the two of us on the team, we had to make sure that our communication was fantastic to ensure productivity could match a larger team in the same time frame. We started by using Figma to map out ideas and establish a base structure for the app, and also just prioritizing what we need to do and what we can do if we had more time. So we then did pair programming on Google Meet to set up the scaffolding of the app, both front end and back end. And throughout the development process, we had regular stand-ups and retros to stay on top of our progress, while also using GitHub for version control and reviewing pull requests either individually or together. We also made use of our Slack channel, also just messaging each other on Slack whenever we're stuck on something or we just need a fresh pair of eyes to review a code, which was really helpful because sometimes Max spots small problems that I spend hours working on, or sometimes it's the other way around. Additionally, we use unit tests to ensure our code is robust.
And as with any project, we obviously encountered a few challenges along the way, most of them technically related. API drama, so we had a few difficulties with getting the database up and running in the first place. And then again, when we were trying to make it join tables. On the positive side of this, it's definitely tricky in places, but we really needed that refresher on backend, and it made it possible to further customize our API calls. We also found testing Axios to be very complex. Given the time constraints, we weren't able to fully resolve all of our tests on Axios, but now it's something that we know that we need to focus on and improve on going forward. Filtering data was all really manageable. It just took some time for us to decide on the best ways to pass the data around the app. And finally, on this slide, childcare and illness. So it's not so much of a technical challenge. As a difficult fact about life, unfortunately, both of us were out of action for a couple of days, but we rallied, supported each other, and kept each other in the loop.
Last but not least, these are our social handles from LinkedIn and GitHub. So there's myself, David, and Max. And finally, we just want to say a big thank you to everyone in the Command team, including the tutors and everyone else in the Command team in general. This would have been possible without your continuous support throughout your precious evenings and weekend mornings, afternoons. So once again, thank you so much for your help.